looking at governance structures and some of this kind of stuff earlier in the year. And I have to say, I'm a passionate guy. The cameraman's already warned me that if I'm to stay on camera, I can't move around too much. My mother is going to be betting against him. I can tell you that. So I've got a range here that I'm going to have to stay in. But the point being is that this is the kind of thing that is really easy for me to come and get involved in, because when you see the passion, determination of people to get something done, and who are starting to work hard at making something happen, something that seems very hard and very unnatural to them. It's like watching that stranger, fighting to change their tire on the side of the road. When they're out there working for themselves, trying to get something done, your urge is to try and help them. When they're just sitting in their car, hoping and not doing anything that somebody else is going to fix it for them, it's a lot less motivating to come and support them. And so one of the questions that I always ask very early on as I'm working with communities, I said, so, you're trying to get government funding, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, get other people to help you, but let's just say the feds didn't give you anything and the province didn't give you anything. Would you still be interested in doing this? Would you still try and find a way? Is this important enough that you would try and find a way to get this done? And there was, a very brief pause, and it's like, well, yeah, absolutely, we'd still get this done. I'm like, okay, cool. You guys you're not looking for handouts. You're looking to actually sit down and figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to get it done. And that, for me, is really motivating. And so it's under that context that I said, yeah, I'd love to come and share with you some of my experiences from around the world and see if we can't help give you guys a little push up over that edge. So the other bit of introduction that I just comment on again is the fact of the rural versus urban thing right off the start. A lot of what I'm going to tell you today and a lot of what I'm going to show you, the immediate reaction we get from people everywhere we go is, oh yeah, but I can't do that here because. And I am going to fight you tooth and nail on that line of thinking. I have been in places, and I'm going to share some stories with you and show you some pictures that, you'll just shake your head. If they can do it, come on, we must be able to do it. So at the end of the day, I can talk to you about the differences between rural and urban environments, but nothing that I'm going to share with you up here today is not possible. Is everything that I'm going to share with you is very possible in your region. And we've done it in places a lot harder with a lot more obstacles than here. So, without further ado. Technology seems to be working. This is a good thing. So I'm going to talk to you today about intelligent communities. And rather than get into a nice big theoretical, I think I don't need this, do I? I still am loud without it. Hey, that's cool. Okay, that's what this is for. Wireless. Okay, so rather than get into a big theoretical discussion about what intelligent communities are without any kind of visual background, I like to take things that are abstract and make them very real. So I'm going to actually bring up the end result. So after a community had gone through this intelligent community design process, what was the final result? What did their community look like? And in this way, I want to share with you what is possible here. What could the Eastern Ontario Wardens region, the regions that make up the Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus, what could that look like 3 years, 5 years from now? What would the experience of someone living here be like? So, this is the screen. Haha, I'm already moving. This is the screen that when a person in a town called Västerås, which is, how many of you have been to Sweden? Anybody? A couple of you. Good. How many of you are Swedish? Damn, I can't impress you all with my newfound learning of the Swedish language. So this is a town about 2.5 hours by high-speed train west of Stockholm, which is their largest city. It's about roughly about 150,000 people in the overall, what they call a municipality is kind of like a county in the States, or you guys call I'm sorry, I always forget out here. Is it counties or townships? townships, counties. So it's kind of, but it's a bigger region. It's made up of the urban kind of area and then all the rural area kind of around it as well. And so it's about 150,000 people in this particular part of the world. Quite isolated from anything else. And so they've gone and built an intelligent community. So that when you turn on a TV or a PC anywhere in this community, so you're in your house, you're at work, you're at the school, you're wherever, you're taken to this screen. And you can click on the hospital, and you can access the variety of health services that are available over the network. So in this case here, this is Nurse Goodrun is the application. And this is Live Instant Nurse. You can click on here and you get access to the nurse. You can video conference with her. She can look at your arm as it goes up this way and then over that way and then tell you, yes, I think that's broken. You should probably come in. If it's mental health issues, physical health issues, it doesn't matter. You can interact with the nurse. A very, very cool thing right from home. But they've done other things as well. They've got electronic pill boxes and heart rate monitors and that's not my heart, that's my arm. Heart rate monitors and blood pressure monitors that they have attached to the network that they've developed for this purpose. That what they've done is they've put them in the homes of elderly people. Because one of the biggest costs in this community, and both a financial cost but a social cost, was the fact that these people were having to leave their homes, because I said this is a big region, and go to the urban center and to move into an old age home, displaced from their natural social environment, which they really quite liked and would have liked to have been, into this other place, which has a much higher cost for the system. So what they thought is, hey, if we could figure out a way to keep these people in their homes 3 years, 4 years, 5 years longer, they're happier and we're happier. And so what they did is they attached this electronic pill box, and they got the pills there. And so now, if you don't open Tuesday's pill on Tuesday, all of a sudden, by about noon, bing, on comes the television. Mrs. Jones, there's nobody there called Mrs. Jones. It's Mrs. Johansson, but that's another thing. Mrs. Johansson, time to take your pill. Or don't forget, oh, yes, go over, take the pill. And again, just keep checking. And if that pill box doesn't open, Mrs. Jones, where are you? Then you can call, you can have a structure to call the son, the daughter, the neighbor, the whatever, to go over and check on Mrs. Jones and make sure everything's okay. Likewise, blood pressure, heart rate, these kind of things, they can say, okay, Mrs. Jones, time to go over here, away you go. They've got it set up with the security system in the house. So you know how they got the motion detectors in the house. But that tied into the health system. So that if there's no movement in the home for 4 hours, all of a sudden, bing, up comes the TV with the video camera. Hey, Mrs. Jones, how's everything going? Oh, fine, it's just an all-day, Jeopardy session, just watching this, it's wonderful. Well, you should probably eat, Mrs. Jones, or get up and go to the bathroom, okay? So that kind of concept. So now, again, what we're doing is we're making, furthermore, and now also, if it hasn't moved, if there's been no movement in 4 hours, it can be, the nurse, the health people, if there's nobody else. But more importantly, it can also be an SMS to the son or the daughter or the friend. So, hey, mom, just, checking in on you, haven't, been nothing going on there for a little while, oh yeah, I just fell asleep, So that kind of a setup, and on that pilot, the impact has been huge. And I'm sure you can all understand why. So that's healthcare. Oh, sorry, also you can see a list of all the doctors that are in the community. You can see their schedules. You can see their specialties. You can click a little video and watch a little bit about their practice and see kind of, what they're good at and what they're not going to see, if you kind of like their rapport and that kind of stuff, and then book an appointment with them, right online and say, yeah, I'd like to book an appointment now. So that's the kind of stuff that's going on there. Click on the school. And you can access a wide range of educational services. These services span, I can't remember, I believe in Canada they have a phrase for this as well. It's, K through grave or something. The whole concept that we are in a knowledge-based economy, and your education never stops. And one of the challenges that we kind of faced early on in the kind of whole broadband policy initiatives as we were getting involved in them early days, is we got very focused on K through kind of university. And then we had the extension folks at university start, raising their fists at us saying, hey, come on, like people don't stop training at the end of, when they graduate. I mean, and one of the biggest challenges that we faced, and we ran into this in the rural BC, is that, okay, so you're an engineer or you're a doctor and you move to one of these rural places. You have to stay on top of your profession. You have to feel like you're only going to move there if you can stay on top of your profession. Am I moving too much still? So anyway, that whole concept of being able to stay with the individual and continue to educate them is essential. If we're going to attract the best people to our region, we have to make sure that they feel that they can grow personally and professionally there their whole lives. And so here you click on the school, and yes, you can access your child's teacher. You can, in some cases, watch the classroom. You can actually go and, as though you were sitting in the classroom, and just watch for as long as you want. The teacher is there conducting the class in front of the camera all day long. And so you can sit there, and you could have that running on one TV and your mother watching Jeopardy on the other TV. And now you got your world under control, right? We'll get into the whole privacy stuff a little bit later, but I am really glad that this technology was not there when I was in school. Mom. I wouldn't be here today. I'd still be grounded. So that whole notion that you can much more interaction with the classroom, that you can then talk to the teacher after. You can book your appointments with the teacher. You can book appointments with the principal if you're not getting the results from the teacher, and conduct all of those online. Furthermore, you can again extend out beyond that. So what's really neat about an intelligent community too is you look at that and you say, hey, wait a sec, these things begin to interact with one another. And so now you've got doctors clicking on the school to look for extended courses, online courses about these types of things that they're trying to learn more about. Furthermore, you've got people in the school clicking on the nurse, because one of the things that we lost 10, 15 years ago was the school nurse. Now in Westeros they've got it back. You go to a wall where they've got a giant-sized television. It's amazing. It's the whole thing. And you walk up to the wall. It's a virtual wall into the hospital. And so they can take the child right up to the wall. On the other side is the nurse. And they can say, hey, look at this. I can see that stick is going right through the kid's head. Please bring Mr. Wenger back again to the hospital. But now you've got that capability. And so we'll talk more about this as we go on, but it's that concept of how this thing, when properly designed, can really help to bust some of these silos and show the importance of busting some of these silos. Anything more I want to talk about education? I'll come back probably to talk about a few more things. This is a neat building. Oh, by the way, this is if you went to Westeros, you'd notice this. It's actually almost like a cartoon sketch of the community itself. This is what the community looks like. So you click on the incubator building, and this is the business building. This is a building where they've got both a physical location, making it part of the building, but more importantly, a virtual location, where this is a digital incubator. And what they've done is they've looked at, what do startup companies in the digital era need to support themselves? What's the common infrastructure between them? Things like billing system, CRM systems, which are customer relation systems, so you can track your customers and kind of do this kind of thing. The underlying systems, Microsoft Word, Office,